conscious without my eyeliner. So let's get started here. I already noticed we got a lot of Pokemon fans in the crowd. When that craze first started, I hang out with a lot of comics. So somebody asked, could I get a topic? Somebody shouted out a topic, and someone yelled out, Pokemon Go. And he said, I don't know anything about that, I don't want to talk about it. And he said, is there any other suggestions? And I went, Pokemon Go! And he was like, all right, fine, so what's Pokemon? And this girl in the front row was very enthusiastic, and she said, oh my god. So you capture these animals, and you put them in balls, and then you make them fight other animals.
Yeah, basically.
And this guy looked right at her and goes, how is that any different than what Michael Vick was doing?
Michael Vick wasn't fighting dogs.
Which kind of just made me sad, because I was like, oh, I wonder if Squirtle is upset. My cat chewed through the cable on my Xbox, so now I don't know where I'm going to meet girls. It's a sad life. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I work at Best Buy when I'm not here. I'm a Samsung Experience rep when I'm not doing other IT work. Big surprise, I'm a nerd. Like third day on the job, this lady comes in and she goes, hi, you're going to get me a new phone, or I'm going to ruin your life. I was like, hold on there, ma'am. She goes, I'm serious. I know people from the Mayo Clinic. And I was like, I don't have health care. She says to me, she says, I'm serious. I know people and I will ruin your life. And I said, well, let me tell you a little bit about myself, man. I'm 35. I live in my parents' basement. I drove a hand-me-down Chevy Aveo into work today. And I have 2 kids. Both their mothers hate me. I dress like this for fun. What are you gonna do? Glad Peter made that joke about paying his mom rent, because I'm going through that same thing. I'm like, get out of here! One time, like before I was going on, somebody said to me, they said, you know, just remember, as soon as you get on stage, they're judging you. And I said, I know, Mom! A friend asked me earlier, she said, do you like lingerie? And I said, yeah. Sometimes on girls. So the other day I was talking with a friend here. I hope this joke doesn't go too dark. But she was telling me about her favorite characters from all sorts of genres, and it started getting weird. She was like, well, I don't know if I like Ramsay or Joffrey more. Game of Thrones. Yeah, I know, right? This gets where she's like, Drago Malfoy, I had such a crush on him. I like Gar from Naruto, like when he was still like, crushing people. Before like he got psychiatric treatment.
Never did.
This just went on, and I was like, okay, like I don't want to pry too much into your personal life, but who Uncle Bad touched you? Like Tom Riddle? Cobra Commander? Like, who lured you into their van? I feel bad saying that, but this is also the same person who just looked at me in my cosplay once and went, goodness, you look like you belong on the corner of someplace sad and lonely.
Roasted your
The comic once, we were roasting each other and he saw my tattoo here of an anchor on my finger and he asked me, he said, what, are you married to the sea? Oh no. So my son, he's 11, and I have a 5-year-old, and they both, they're pretty big nerds too. Jordan was 5, and I'll tell you a little story about watching those DC animated movies. Then if you haven't seen one, they are not for children.
Nope.
Do not watch them with your kids.
No.
I traumatized my 4 or 5-year-old, in like the best ways though. So he said, which movie do you want to watch, buddy? He goes, Under the Red Hood. That looks like a good one. Yeah. And I'm like, and once you get this started, you can't stop. You can't be like, no more Batman for you, buddy. They'll kick the shit out of me. remember this point in the movie when the Joker is getting broken out of jail, and he asks the black mask. He says, "May I have a glass of water?"
Ooh.
And they hand him a glass of water, and then he breaks it and stabs a man in the throat and shoots the other 3 henchmen. And he goes, "I'm gonna need something to wear." And my 5-year-old looked at me and went, "Those guys are dead, huh, Dad?" That guy's not getting back up. This is the same, so when we were watching, it was The Force Unleashed. Now, I didn't realize this about my son. Like, he was a Star Wars fan, but I didn't realize that his only introduction to Star Wars was the Clone Wars. So, Anakin Skywalker was a hero to him. You know, he's the hero of the Republic. He's a great guy. And I'm playing The Force Unleashed, and I'm kicking the shit out of Vader, and I called him Anakin. And I might as well have told him that Santa wasn't real.
Oh, no.
I crushed him. He looked at me and he went, "Oh, he has the same name as Anakin Skywalker." And I went, "Oh, no." "No, buddy, they're the same guy." And he went, "What happened?" So I thought, let's watch the 3rd movie. That should put some context in it. Forget how much it doesn't. Anakin has a bad day and just goes fucking bananas. It's basically like the Joker of like the Star Wars. Like, he's like, "Oh, I did something slightly wrong. Well, might as well kill some children." The old man told me to, and at this point, I've just got no will of my own. So he's 7 at this point. He looks at me with a tear running down his cheek, and he goes, "He killed those kids, huh, Dad?" I am gonna win Parent of the Year. I am telling you. So I'll tell you a little bit more about my time growing up. I was young. I got into drugs, and I needed some direction. So I thought, why not join the Army? That'll help straighten me out. So I joined the Army. This is day 2 of basic training. I was trying to get away from meth. It's a horrible drug. I don't recommend trying it. A 6'5" black man knelt down beside me, and he whispered in my ear while I was doing push-ups, "I swear to God, if you don't start doing those push-ups correctly, I'm gonna skull fuck the shit out of you, boy." Day 2. And push-ups, I don't know if you know, there's not a lot to them. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong at this point. But it was in this moment that I thought, man, I never even thought about going to rehab. It feels like a more appropriate place. Told the same story to the guy at the weapons locker, and he was like, "That's tragic. Here's your gun." Let's see here. I don't drink. I don't drink because I don't behave myself. Someone once asked me, they said, "Maybe, have you ever considered that maybe you just need a little more discipline in your life?" And I was like, "That's a good point. You ever had a casual drink with your friends?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I never fucking have. Never once would the drinks I have be called casual." I'm like, I get to the bartender and I'd be like, "Do you have anything that starts on fire? Can we do anything to start it on fire? If we put a little gas on there, it'll burn off by the time I drink it." What I did was, the final straw, this was 6 years ago, is I stole my mom's car directly after my grandmother's funeral, then stole a Pomeranian from some campers, took it for a joyride, released it safely back into the campground to be reunited with its family, and at some point, a passerby told me they saw me yell out the passenger window of the car, "My name's Roxo and I'm the cocaine clown," or whatever the hell. I have full view of the car. No one driving the fucking car. Moving down the street. Mind you again, passenger window. Yeah. I was like, that's enough of that. Drinking's not fun like it used to be. That's not, my problem isn't other people's problems. I remember the first con I was going to go to, after I got sober, I called my sponsor and I said, what should I do? And he said, well, what do you normally do at con? And I was like, I got fucked up. Sometimes just wander around aimlessly and be like, man, I saw Superman arm wrestling Goku, it was amazing. And he was like, are there any other things to do? And I was like, so many cool things, and I am always too drunk to do them. And he was like, well, maybe you should go try to do those things because the world's not going to stop turning because you quit drinking. So I just take that with me. I still have lots of fun. When I did the Samsung thing, I was working there when the Note 7 started to explode. I don't know if you remember this. But it was quite a time to be an experience representative. I was like, how's your experience? And they're like, shitty, started on fire. Now, I'm working there, and this gentleman comes in, and God bless him, he had such a good sense of humor, but he says, sir, you must help me. Samsung says I must return in country of origin, which is United Arab Emirates. But STC says that we cannot fly with this plane. What do you recommend I do? And I said, power the phone down, put it near, not your carry-on, your onboard luggage. If they see it in the carry-on, they will throw that shit in the garbage. And you'll be fine. And he said, how sure are you? Because if this phone explodes in my bag on airplane, no one's going to believe it was an accident. My wife is going to be so pissed. I was like, man, that is a great sense of humor. Because not everybody was so kind. I also worked at a cable company. They fired me. Charter. Anyway, so you have to take notes on whatever's going on with the customer. And what happened this particular time is I was writing out the report, and what I meant to write was, customer needs a bigger cable. Now, you ever misspell something and notice it just before hitting that save button? I misspelled the word bigger. With an N.
Bruh.
Yeah, so but I couldn't say, I gotta change those notes. We can't do it. You have to get a supervisor, so I put my name on the board, and one of our leads came over and he said, what's going on? I said, I need a supervisor to change the notes. They said, no problem. Tyrone. I was like, not Tyrone.
You call on Tyrone.
Oh, man, yeah, that was embarrassing. I was like, this isn't what it looks like. My son, I taught him how Google works, how OK Google works, and now he's smarter than I am. We were watching Wonder Woman, and I said, you know, buddy, I just don't know much about World War I. And he went, well, you see, Dad, it started when there were economic tensions in the Balkans. You're 11. So much smarter than I am. Let's tell a dirty joke here.
Yay.
I asked somebody, how do you guys feel about dirty jokes? I should have known. All right, hentai, just kidding. Tentacle rape. So I asked him, I said, if you could sleep with any celebrity, who would it be? And without missing a beat, she went, oh, honey, who's the loud comer? Right at her boyfriend, and without missing a beat, he went, Tom Sizemore. You guys don't remember Tom Sizemore? He was a sergeant in every military movie in the early 2000s. And I'm like, what is this? I don't know about this. And they're like, oh, they released a sex tape. It's not that great, but it's the coming that'll get you. Now I couldn't find a video anywhere, not Pornhub, nothing, but I found an audio track, which honestly, better. Let your imagination take you there. Because this is how it goes. You hear oh. And you're like, getting old. I got the friction for like, You're welcome. I was making sweet love with a girl, and midway through, when she was like, wham! And she punched me in the chest, and she went, "You like that, don't you?" Now this isn't so much a joke as I'm asking, should she have asked permission? Like, as if I did that. Tell you a little bit more about I went to the bar this last Halloween, and I dressed like this, and I got pulled over on the way home. Now, again, I don't drink, but Harley at the time did, excessively. So she's yelling out my window, and the cop's trying to stick his head in to smell my breath. And I said, "Look, I know how this song and dance works. Can I just blow into your little gun?"
Pause.
And he reached for his sidearm, like he didn't understand. Like no, let me just blow in the breathalyzer. Now, as I blow, he's like, "You know how dumb it would be if you drank? You know how much trouble you'd be in, buddy? You'd be in a lot of trouble." I mean, oh. Zeros. Like, I don't know, I'm not drunk. Thank God, because I was pretty fucking worried. Thought I was hammered until I saw your little thingy there. What else do we got? So, my buddy Deadpool's here. You guys see him in the back? He's a fantastic Deadpool. So one time, we're going for, he needs to take his car back. He'd like to have a couple drinks. He wants to do the responsible thing. Let's go drop his car off. I'll drive him there, why not? We get to the hotel, we drop off his car, we come back, we're gonna get on a shuttle to come back. The shuttle bus pulls open, and the doors open up, and the drunkest, most methed out trucker I've ever seen in my life fell out and just rolled onto the ground. And then he starts to like get up and look at us, and it's the Joker and Deadpool looking at him. We're like, "Hi." And he looks at me and he goes, I said, "How are you doing this evening, sir?" And he goes, "I thought I was the biggest asshole on the planet until I ran into you two."
Facts.
And well, listen to beat Deadpool went, "Really?" I find that hard to believe. You're missing a couple of teeth. Oh! Yeah, he clearly, like, that's how he got from place to place. So I'm on the Minnesota THC registry, treats PTSD. My mom's the one who took me to the pharmacy for the first time. So I said, "Mom, do you mind if I use this inhaler? It's 100% legal." She said, "Sure." I've never done this in front of my mom, so I take a little puff, and I'm unaware of how potent this is.
Oh, no.
So what starts off is, it's got a very nice... And I look back up, and my mom's looking at me, and she goes, "Was it good shit, son?" Yeah. I liked it. This is all unrelated. I noticed Wish was selling reusable drinking straws. These are crack pipes. I love the names that people come up with for crack pipes. Give me an example. My mom was a friend in Kentucky. She called me up and she said, "Dustin, so I'm in this little shop and I'm seeing this little, it's like a glass cylinder with like a little orb at the bottom. And there's a picture on the box where there's a flower in it. That is a meth pipe. Where are you? What part of Kentucky? What store? And who are you hanging out with, Mom? I'm starting to think you're hanging out with bad people." She goes, "Oh, well, we're in a head shop." Fuck it, I got nothing for you. I was coming back once from the rave, and there was an officer on duty, and he saw me, and I was a little loud, so he shushed me very aggressively. And I apologize, sir. But as soon as he realized I was respectful, we ended up on the same elevator together now. All cards on the table. I was a hallucinogen at this point, so this is not where I wanted to be. But he looks at me and he goes, so who are you supposed to be? The Mac Daddy? Because you blinded me with your jewelry, man.
Wow.
That was it, yeah, that was the coolest thing I'd ever heard a cop say to me, and I was like, oh, you're one of my fans. Let's see here, what can I leave you with? Let me talk to the crowd a little bit. What brings you guys to con? What is your favorite thing to do here? You seem to really want to.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I'm here because this is my first con I've been to yet in Minneapolis.
Hey.
First con.
And what I love to do here is at the DC panel, I manipulated Mark Hamill's Joker into doing a sort of Princess Bride duel.
That sounds amazing, man. I'm going to ask you about that after the show here. I got a couple more for you. So,
Shoot, Joker.
let's see here.
Mr. J.
I've got a dating app that I was using, and a girl messaged me on there, and she said, I noticed that you like to dress like the Joker. That's probably a red flag.
Facts.
Yeah, probably.
Facts.
What are you doing later? You contacted me. Let's see here. So while I was at doing this IT work for Samsung, this husband came in with his phone and he said, how do I disconnect my Bluetooth from my car? And how do I really know it's disconnected? And I started to explain to him how, and I said, if you don't mind my asking, sir, what happened here? And he said, well, my bedroom is not that far from the car. My wife was leaving for work, and I couldn't figure out why there was no audio on my phone as I was watching hentai. So his wife, who decides, gets in the car and goes, better not text and drive. I'll just handle this here. And turns on the car to I can't imagine what noises you hear. But it was probably even worse because, again, no visuals. So her imagination is taking her places that even the hentai can't take you. You know, even as I was as a young man, I smoked weed and I loved to watch Dragon Ball Z. And one thing that really pissed me off, because I still think time is a construct because of this, is the whole I'm gonna destroy the planet in 5 minutes. Okay, that's the greatest lie ever fucking told.
Facts.
No, I'm sitting next to stoner guys, and we watch this stuff religiously, so we'd be like, has it been 3 days? I'm starting to think this isn't time accurate. No? That was not what my favorite anime growing up, I could rent Street Fighter 2, the animated movie,
Yes.
from the grocery store, and there was side boob, which was a big deal because I'm so old, the internet wasn't always a thing. There are people who don't believe that's not even what is you ride like a horse to work. I am going to leave you on this last one where we're running short. Now, I also worked at Best Buy, and I worked there during the Grand Theft Auto 5 craze.
Yes.
And I got sick and tired of parents coming in and bitching at us that we sold them a game. That's what the rating's for. Also with the title like Grand Theft Auto, what'd you think you were getting? Sesame Street? So this lady comes in, and she puts Grand Theft Auto on the counter, and this is what I can see. And this 8-year-old is really excited. And I was like, ma'am, if you look back here, this game was rated M for mature. And there's a list of reasons why. If you will notice, it's a really fucking long list. They have to make extra space. There's that many things in there. And she goes, are you trying to tell me how to raise my kid?
Oh.
And I said, no, ma'am, I'm trying to tell you that there's anal sex in the first campaign mission. He doesn't even make him work for it. So she's like cocking her hip out. After I said that, she went. And just put it on the counter, but then she turned her back to walk out. And as we were leaving, this like 8-year-old kid went. I was like, you'll thank me when you're not killing hookers to get your money back. That's not really how life works. There's so many more repercussions. I want to thank Peter so much for putting on this panel and letting us know. Being gracious enough while I was being a prima donna in the back. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so on that note, if you are a comedian or would like to try stand-up comedy,